Sing, you are great, you are great, you are great, Lord. You are great. Father, you are great, you are great. Oh, we sing, you are great, Lord. Father, you are great, Lord. Everything about you is great. Oh, sing, you are great, you are great. Him. We praise you, Lord. We exalt you. We thank you, Lord. We thank you. Thank you, Jesus. Somebody just open your mouth and thank the Lord for His goodness, for His grace. Father, we exalt you. Thank you, oh God. Oh, thank you, Jesus. We thank God for our lives today. Wherever you are, if you can hear our voice today, we just want to declare and testify that God still reigns. And His kingdom has no end. So we gather here today in His presence, giving Him worship, giving Him all the honor, knowing that whatever times we are in today, He controls the times and the seasons. So whatever going on around the world today, people giving up on their God, people saying stuff like the God of Israel does not exist. He still reigns. There have been bigger problems in the past than this, and He saw His people through. So if you are the child of God and you believe in Jesus Christ to be the Son of the Most High, that He came to die for our sins and rose on the third day, He still lives. He's seated higher above powers, seated higher above principalities, and He has the power to overcome whatever. Hallelujah. Jesus. Wherever you are, just lift up your voice and even thank God for your life. Thank God for your life. Thank you, Jesus. What is going on? Thank you, Jesus. It looks like it's not existing. People are recovering. Thank you, Jesus. Our God is a healing God. We worship Him, we worship Him. You worship Him. Lift up your voice and bless the name of the Lord. He is worthy, He reigns forevermore. And In such a time, such a period in our lifetime, God always has a word for us. And today, the coronavirus that has put fear on planet Earth, God has an answer for this problem. There are many who have given up, but there are others who are seeking the face of God. And I pray that whatever happens on this planet, the creator of this planet will have an answer. Amen. And may he use me as a vessel to bring you a word that will lift up your spirit. A word that will empower you. A word that will tell you that it's not over. Until God says so, it will never be over. And today, he has given us a word. The message is entitled, Wisdom's Call. Wisdom's Call. You know, around the world, they have put some regulations in place that we need to follow so that this coronavirus will not attack us. It is good to have great leaders of countries, and God has blessed some of them who can, get into the books, the medical doctors, the scientists, and all people so that they might think we have to put some regulations in place that will help humankind. But it is God whose regulations will stand. Amen. It is God whose commandments will stand. Yes, sir. And God says, I'm about to speak from the heavenlies. I'm about to speak unto the planet. Those who have ears, let them hear. And I'm here to tell you, may you be strengthened. Yes, sir. May you be empowered. Because God still sits on his throne. We'll read our first scripture from the book of Revelation, chapter number 13. Because of time, we'll be running a little bit in a haste. But where the Lord wants to lead us, it will be the Spirit of the Lord. And it reads, it says, then I saw a second beast coming out of the earth. It had two horns like a lamb, but it spoke like a dragon. It exercised all the authority of the first beast on its behalf, and made the earth and its inhabitants worship the first beast, whose fatal wound had been healed. And it performed great signs, even causing fire to come down from heaven to the earth in full view of the people. Because of the signs it was given power to perform on behalf of the first beast, it deceived the inhabitants of the earth. It ordered them to set up an image in honor of the beast, who was wounded by the sword and yet lived. The second beast was given power to give breath to the image of the first beast, so that the image could speak and cause all who refused to worship the image to be killed. It also forced all people, great and small, rich and poor, free and slave, to receive a mark on their right hands or on their foreheads, so that they could not buy or sell unless they had the mark, which is the name of the beast or the number of its name. This calls for wisdom. Now listen to the text carefully. The text is explaining things that are about to happen. And at times, when a city or a town brings curfew, the people of that city or town will rise up against the authorities who says that there is a curfew. And it will begin and take people surprise. People will have been saying it will never happen on planet Earth that a nation can shut everything down. Amen. Because people think they have their freedom. They can do whatever they want to do. Even putting simple regulations, like when you drive, don't text. When you drive, don't talk on the phone. Because of people's freedom, they will still do it anyway. Because in their mind, they are who they are, and nobody can control them. But here is a situation that a virus has risen, and the virus is causing people even not to speak on their phones, even not to text, even not to go out. And And there are some situations happening around the world that restaurants are closed. There are some shopping malls that are closed. And if anyone should have told you about 3-4 months ago that this could happen on planet Earth, you will have an argument with the person. Yes. And it might even end up in a fist fight. Because this cannot happen in my home. This cannot happen in my neighborhood. This cannot happen in my town. This cannot happen in my nation. Who is the one who can rise up and say that you can't buy or sell unless I give you the authority to buy or sell? In your mind you say, I made my money and I want to use it anyhow I want to use it. Freedom on planet Earth, liberty on planet Earth is now in captivity. And people are asking, who then can give us an answer? Man will try to figure out some things, but man cannot give you an answer. The God who created this planet knows how to fix things on this planet. And the text we read says, a time is coming that they will tell you you can't buy this. It will begin that you get into the shopping mall. You have your money to buy a packet of a drink or maybe a crate of water. And they will instruct you that though you have your money, but you are not entitled for a crate or a packet of it. Some things are gradually coming to place. It's coming, it's running slowly, it's crawling and crouching, but then a time will come we will reach where Bible is talking about. And there are some people who will say, I want to go to the gas station and buy gas. And those filling stations, gas stations, are going to tell you a gallon per a car. And the question is, I have my money. I want to buy what I want to buy. A time is coming, money will be nothing. A time is coming, all people are going to say is that let me just get out of my house so that I can receive fresh air. And the rules and the regulations of the country will say that you can't go out. But here is the situation. They will bring some medications and they will be spraying some insecticides and all those things in the air because they can't figure out where the virus is. So the only thing is, whatever we touch, we ought to spray. So now a time is coming that human beings will not be able to go out, and you ought to stay at home. If you want to trade, because you cannot take physical cash to go and buy anything, you'll be using your credit card. Is somebody with me? Yes, sir. So now listen to this carefully. The world has a system that will reach what we read in Revelation 13. And the system will be that you are at home. Every card you use, they will tell you now you need a chip in that card. And the chip will have all your identifications. That is the beginning of things on planet Earth. And Bible has already prophesied about it. And soon they will tell you that no, there are no more plastics to make the credit card or the debit card. But you already know that they have put a chip on your card. So they will come to you and tell you, let us configure, put this chip in a tiny chip which is like rice. Put it on your hand. Or put it on your forehead. They are upgrading, moving from one place to another place to another place. So now in your mind you will be saying, this is normal. Because if I cannot have this chip, my children will die. Oh. If I can't have this chip, then we are going to starve. And now you think you have your own money. So you can call Amazon. You call other places that I need water bottle, send it to me as soon as possible. But if Amazon's warehouses are empty of water, what are you going to do? People are not grasping what is happening on planet Earth. When you go to a country like Italy, the whole nation is shut down. In the United States, some states have started. California, New York, Illinois, and others, they are also saying that we are shutting down. So a time is coming, it's going to affect the entire 50 plus states. Then it will affect Europe. The China that we put our trust in, that they make everything we wear. They make everything in our homes. They make our televisions that we watch. Now, if China is not able to manufacture all these things, how are you going to survive? God is bringing your mind on something. Yes, sir. Before television, you were alive. Before cell phones, you were alive. Before buying things on internet, you were alive. But the problem is, the system of this world is taking us away from our Creator. There are some people who can sit before a television for 12 hours watching program to another program. And if you ask that person, have you asked God? Have you prayed to God? Have you inquired what your life is supposed to be? They will tell you, I am who I am. But the Bible is saying a period is coming. A time is encroaching. And that time has arrived. That you will not be able to even buy and sell. Is somebody with me? Yes, sir. So now, Bible is telling us when you see these things coming, somebody has a solution. He says, let us invite wisdom. He says, this calls for wisdom. Yes, sir. Is somebody with me? Yes, Papa. Now, do you see that when you get yourself into trouble and you are not able to escape or get out of it, you look for somebody who can help you out. So Bible, the book that the Creator, the manufacturer of the planet, put in place for us to go through when difficult times come. The Bible is saying, this doesn't need a president of a country. It doesn't need a head of state of a country. It doesn't need medical students, doctors, and lawyers, and name them. It doesn't need them. Whatever they put in place will help. But is it going to uproot? Is it going to tear down this virus? Is it going to annihilate this virus? And Bible prophesy that when you see those times coming, invite somebody. He will have solution. And Bible says, Revelation 13:8, this invitation is for wisdom. And it says when wisdom shows up, the reason why we need wisdom is that there are people who will know some things, but in their calculations, they might get it wrong. But if you invite wisdom, wisdom will calculate things happening, and wisdom will bring you results. Hallelujah. Amen. So our title today is Wisdom's Call. So now that we have invited wisdom, we want to hear what he has for this situation. Yes, sir. And I know around the world, fear has gripped us. And preachers are being directed by the Spirit of God at a particular time and wherever they are to bring a particular word that will suit the congregation. But here is the situation. We need a worldwide solution. Yes, sir. Is somebody with me? Yes. Not a solution for your home alone. Not a solution for your village or town. Not a solution for your city alone, so that you can come back and tell us our city has zero virus. Our country has zero coronavirus. We need the entire planet to come before the throne of grace. And the solution will come from the throne of grace. So now let us ask wisdom what he has for us. Go to Proverbs chapter number 8. Verse 1. Going. Do not wisdom call out. Now listen, wisdom has been invited. And wisdom is about to speak. He says, I wisdom, don't I speak, don't I call out. And he says, when I call out, does not understanding raise her voice? So when wisdom calls, when wisdom speaks, understanding amplifies wisdom's voice. Is somebody with me? Yes, sir. It's like you go to a place and there are people who do not understand your language. You need an interpreter. So when you speak, the interpreter will interpret. But here is the situation that wisdom is speaking, but people are not hearing her voice. So wisdom says, I have been calling. On planet, I have been calling. But then people are not hearing my voice. So when I call out, when I speak out, understanding will amplify my voice. Amen. Will put value on it. Amen. So nobody can say when you spoke, I did not understand or I did not hear. Because when wisdom speaks, understanding amplifies her voice. Let's go to verse number 2. At the highest point along the way, listen to what wisdom is saying. He says there is a way, and the way is not a lowest point. The way goes up. So at the highest point of your way, he says what? Where the paths meet. When there is a path coming from left, a path coming from right, a path coming from above, a path coming from below. He says they will meet at a place because there is a reason for their meeting. Now remember, Chinese leaders, American leaders, the European leaders, this is bringing an idea. That one is bringing an idea. So there is a path coming from here, a path coming from here. They say, let us all bring this path to the World Health Organization. So everybody's idea is brought out there. They will meet. So apart from Africa, apart from Asia, apart from Europe, apart from South America here, apart from all around the world, everybody is bringing a path, a way, an advice, what they have found out. So let us bring all of them together. So he said, when the paths are coming from left and right, where they meet, is somebody with me? Yes. So if you take the World Health Organization as a place they are meeting, Bible is telling us, wisdom takes her stand. Wisdom. Are you getting the picture here? Yes. So you bring your mind, you bring your mind, you bring your mind. So we are putting our knowledge and everything together. But where we meet, wisdom takes her stand. And listen to this. She says, beside the gate, leading to the city. Are you with me? There is a city, a place, be it in Switzerland. Then the city will be waiting. Be it in the Netherlands, the city will be waiting. Be it in Germany, the city will be waiting. All around the world. And if it's in America, there is a city that will be waiting for all those voices to come. And he says, beside the gate leading to the city, at the entrance, she cries out. So you are bringing ideas together. And wisdom stands at the entrance. It says, what you are bringing is good, but it's not good enough. Because you are bringing human's mind, human's idea. Wisdom says, no, for this situation, it's not a man's solution. It's somebody's solution. So I'm crying out. I am wisdom. I'm crying out. Bring whatever you want to bring, but I'm telling you, you cannot solve that problem. I, wisdom, I'm crying out. And he says, let's get to verse number 3. He says, beside the gate leading into the city, at the entrance she cries aloud. Yes. So verse 4, let us hear. He says, I am talking to you people. Oh, is somebody with me? Amen. He says, my shout is not for the air. It's not for animals. It's not for the angels. It's for you people. People, you think you can solve this problem. But people, you cannot solve it. That's right. God, give me. You forgot about it. Hallelujah. So he says, to you, O people, I call out, I raise my voice to all mankind. Hallelujah. Amen. Thank you, God. So wisdom says, mankind, you are disinfecting this place. Wherever you touch, you put something there. You are doing all this is man. I'm talking to you. I am the one who is standing by the gate. I am the one. And I'm talking to you. All your plans in the eyes of mankind is good. But no, there is something superior than this. Hallelujah. Amen. My God. And the place that the gates or the paths meet, it has a name. is called umbel. U-M-B-E-L. Umbel. Hallelujah. And that word umbel actually is the point that when you see clusters of flowers, right? One flower is coming that way. Another flower is coming that way. Another flower is coming. The point of meeting, when all the clusters meet at a place, they are uniting and they are going to say, let us send a message to the root. If you need nutrients, you come together. This one come together. This come together. But the nutrients will come from the root. So let us send our message to the origin where we came from. Let us send a message and tell the root, we are tasty. The sun is shining and beating on us so much. Things that is happening on earth is too much. But you are the root. So the place that they meet is called umbel. And umbel is supposed to go and tell the root. The clusters needs help. So in the Bible, the place called umbel is where wisdom is telling you. It says, people, gather all the information you have, bring it to the gate. I'm standing there. But you're about to enter. When you enter, you can't have anything. It is I who holds the gate. Jesus. Is someone with me? Yes, are you understanding? We're going little by little. Let us read Proverbs 8 from 12 to 21. Let's go pretty quick. From verse number 8. Let's go to verse number 12. Because of our time, let's use the 12. I wisdom. I dwell together with who? Are you with me? Prudence, when we break it down, is like careful. It's like taking cautious in doing things, right? Yes, so he says, I wisdom. When I'm about to speak, I take caution. I know what I'm talking about. But he says, I stay with prudence. I possess knowledge. The knowledge that you do not know, I wisdom. I possess knowledge. And he says, if I'm doing anything, I use my discretion. Are you with me? Let's continue. Now listen to the knowledge he has acquired. He says, to fear the Lord is to do what? Is someone with me? When we tell you fear the Lord, all we are saying is hate evil. And I was walking in the house and I heard Pastor Sylvia. He was listening to a very great man of God that about millions of people follow. And as I went to the room, I was going to pick something to go and iron. And I heard the preacher. And it's like around the world, God did not give us the spirit of fear. That's right. That spirit did not come from God. And it says there is fear all around on planet Earth. But let our faith rise up so that faith can repel fear. Amen. And as I took the cloth and I was going out, I heard a whisper in my ears. The preacher is right, but the preacher is not fully right. I said, This voice, I hope you are not the devil. Because Bible has told us that we should not be afraid. We should not be fearful. God did not give us the spirit of fear. Yeah. Yes, sir. And as I was ironing, the same voice whispered into my ears. I thought there was somebody deceiving me. And the voice says, remember, you are fearfully and wonderfully made. I said, what? If I'm fearfully and wonderfully made in Psalm 139, right? Then it means when I was molded, wonder was put in me. Wonderful. Full of wonder. But I love the full of wonder part, but I don't want the full of fear part. Oh, is somebody with me? Are you okay? So if you go around and you say, I am fearfully and wonderfully made, that means fear is in you. We'll come to that one later. We'll come to that. So if you are fearful of something, it doesn't mean that you don't trust God. It means you were made fearfully. Oh, is somebody with me? So if fear is trying to grip you, and fear is coming from the planet, wisdom says, no, direct your fear to another place. Because if you fear God, you will hate evil. Is somebody with me? And he says, I hate pride and arrogance, evil behaviors and perverse speech. Continue. Counsel and sound judgment are mine. That's wisdom speaking, right? I have insight. Did we just read from we just read it from Revelation chapter number 13, verse number 18, that says that the problem we are, the insight you want to know about the coronavirus is not with man. It's with wisdom. Hey. Is somebody with me? Yes, stay with me for the next 30 minutes and we will round this up. Then, let's go to, jump to the verse number 22 for me. 22. Go to verse 22. Wisdom is saying, the Lord brought me forth as the first of his words. And he says, what words are we talking about? His words, the deeds of old. So before any other thing was made, wisdom was brought forth. So now we say God is the creator of the heavens and the earth, the seen and the unseen. Before he created all these things, where was he? Where was God when he created all these things? So there are some people who are trying to tell you that they know where God is, but you cannot fathom things of the world, because God, who created all these things, is so big for any planet to contain him. He is so big that the enemy can even say, I'm comparing myself to God. Wisdom says, I came out and I was the first thing that came out of him. Continue. We are going somewhere. He says, I was formed long ages ago, at the very beginning, when the world came to be. So when God was going to make the world, wisdom came forth. He says, when there were no waters and all those things, wisdom, I came forth. Hallelujah. Yes, sir. And as he was coming forth, he said something. Go to verse number 24. When there were no watery depths, I was giving birth. If the Bible is yours, underline giving birth. So, he is saying, the God that you say you know, the God has a womb. Is somebody with me? Yes, sir. God has a womb. and he gave birth to me. But we are not going to touch on some things today because we are going for coronavirus. Are you with me?
Yes, sir.
If God says you were created in his image, then if you are a woman with a womb, you are the image of God.
Amen.
God gave birth. And he says, when there were no springs overflowing with water, before the mountains were settled in place, before the hills, I was giving birth. So now listen to this. If he was giving birth, when you continue to read, he's going to tell you something. Let us go to the verse number 30. He says, when I was giving birth, something happened. Then I was constantly at his side. So now listen to this carefully. Is somebody with me?
Yes, sir.
Did we just read that if all paths are coming, they are coming to one place. They are going to meet at a place called Umbel. And Umbel will send message to the root that these clusters, they need help. The land is dry and the flowers are drying up. So let us go to our source. And the root is able to penetrate and search for where waters are, even as our eyes cannot see.
Yes, sir.
The root can still penetrate and go and locate nutrients and water. So now, wisdom is saying, I came out, and the one who brought me forth made me the craftsman. Then I was constantly at his side. I was filled with delight day after day, rejoicing always in his presence. Whose presence? God the Creator's presence. And he says, rejoicing in his whole world and delighted in mankind. He says, all my interest is in mankind. Not in animals, not in trees. Mankind is my delight. Now then, my children, listen to me. Blessed are those who keep my ways. Now, wisdom is saying, blessed are those who keep my ways. And if you continue, as the craftsman, he is saying, whatever you see, what do craftsmen do? Craftsmen are supposed to put things in place. If you need chair, if you need any furniture, a craftsman comes in. If you need any design, a craftsman comes in. So wisdom is saying, this earth you see,
Yes.
I was the craftsman beside the creator. And he gave birth to me. So as he gave birth to me, whatever you see on earth came through me. Oh, is somebody with me? And immediately you hear the word birth, it means that something came from the womb.
That's right.
As he has already said. But if you want to link what came out of me as a craftsman, you need me. The earth and the creator can never be connected until there is an umbilical cord.
That's right.
Oh, is somebody with me?
Yes, sir.
That means a mother and a child can never be connected unless the baby in the womb is connected to an umbilical cord. So if the baby needs anything, any nutrients, anything, the word umbel we heard is the root word of umbilical. So he says, paths are coming. This one will bring their plan. This one will bring their plan. But if they want to present it to the city, I am the one standing by the gate.
That's right.
If the earth want to say anything to God, their creator, they cannot bypass me. Because I, wisdom, was the first to come out.
Yes, sir.
So if earth needs healing, they should come to me in wisdom. Oh, is somebody with me? If earth needs insight about things happening to them, they are supposed to come to me. The one thing they have knowledge, but that knowledge is a worldly knowledge. I'm talking about the kingdom's knowledge. If anybody wants to acquire knowledge, they should come to me, wisdom, because I am the one standing at the gate. When you speak, I am the only one who will say that, Father, listen to their voice. So if the child in the womb thinks it can get something beside the mother, the child dies. If the earth thinks they can bring something out to solve the problem of this virus, the earth will die. But then if the earth requests the presence of wisdom, that Revelation 13:18 says, this calls for wisdom. We have tried all we can do, but it's not working for us. So wisdom be that umbilical cord. And when we cry on earth, wisdom tell the Father that we need help. Wisdom tell the King of Kings. Wisdom tell the Lord of Lords. Because through your connection, you stand at the gate. You are the only one who can allow anything to penetrate. I say God is speaking to us through wisdom. That planet Earth, if you cut yourself off from the umbilical cord, if you cut yourself off from the creator of the heavens and the earth, if you cut yourself off and you think you have acquired knowledge on this planet and you can solve this problem, Bible says no, because God prophesied through his son Jesus Christ that a time like this will come, that people will need God. That is why at your home you may try to do whatever you are doing, but it's not going to work. It's not how smart you are, it's not how powerful you are. The book of Revelation we just read, that what is coming, it will affect the small. What is happening, it will affect the great. What is happening, it will affect everybody. Unless those people who are on planet Earth, who are called by God's name, until they humble themselves, until they seek the face of God, until they put everything aside and say, wisdom, you are our link. That wisdom, you are the umbilical cord. Do not cut us off, because if you cut us off, the earth will die, millions will die. The church, we are going, and we are going to tell wisdom, we are partnering with you, because we are coming from the left, we are coming from the right, some are coming from the east, some are coming from the west, some are coming from the north, some are coming from the south. They are all coming together. They say we have an idea how to solve this problem, but I'm here to tell you, the fear of the Lord is the beginning to have knowledge about wisdom. So if you fear anything, direct your fear to the creator of the heavens and the earth, and you meet wisdom. Wisdom will tell you that, oh mankind, I've been announcing, I've been making noise, that mankind, I have delight in you. You cannot do it yourself. Sanitizers cannot work. Hand sanitizers cannot work. I say anything you do without God, without the umbilical cord, God is cut away from you. But I came to tell somebody today, God is about to speak. God is about to speak through wisdom. Wisdom is about to move into homes. Wisdom is about to move into churches. Wisdom is about to move. And wisdom says, beside me, nobody will have knowledge. I speak the truth. I have knowledge. I have power. I have authority. I have insight. If you want to know about the Creator, just come and call me. Church, listen to me. Wisdom is saying there are paths that people want to walk on, and in those paths they think heaven will hear them. There is a place that all paths, all talks are supposed to meet. And that place is called Umbel. And it says, since I am the point of all contact. Remember, I came out first. Without God bringing me out, the earth you see wouldn't have shown up. I was the craftsman, sitting beside the Creator. And I stood at the gate, that if anything is coming from any other planet, their knowledge, their power, whatever they have attained on earth, if they want to bring and present it unto God, they cannot bypass me. Is somebody with me? Now listen to this. Let us go to Matthew 6, 9 to 10. And we will come back to wisdom again. This is then how you should pray. When you get yourself into trouble. When things are on planet Earth that you don't understand. If you cannot buy, if you cannot sell, you don't even know if your work is going to be there after 2 weeks or 1 month. The company you're working for, the company might not be there anymore. So he says, in this time, it's for us all to go on our knees and pray. But this is the template here. When you are praying, say, our Father. Are you with me?
Yes, sir.
Your Father, my Father. We can only call him Father if his name is on us. Oh, my name is Joshua Kwesi Ampin Boateng. And the last one is called Atifa. I got a lot of names. So now listen to this. Immediately my name is mentioned. If there is anybody in our town, they will know, that is the son of that man.
Yes.
Women do not put their names on their children. Biblically, God has given mankind the mandate to give names. That's why he told Adam. He says, Adam, I present everything to you. Name them, but immediately you name, so shall it be.
Amen.
Is somebody with me?
Yes, sir.
So if you are saying, my Father, are you a child of God? Anybody can call, but he knows his children's voice.
Yes.
Do you remember the children of the sons of Scevia or something, right? They saw Paul, right?
Yes,
Paul casting out demons. And they say, we also try this now. Because Paul knows who he is. Then they also came. Hey, you demon, get out from this body. I use the name of Paul. I use the name of Jesus. That Jesus that Paul calls. Me too, I'm calling that Jesus. Come on. And even the demon said something. For Jesus we know. For Paul also we know. But who are you? Is somebody with me? It means if you don't have your father's name, if you are not identified with your father, you may be calling, and wisdom will ask you, who are you? Is somebody with me? He says, holy is thy name, hallowed be thy name. If God is holy, are you living a holy life? Is somebody with me? If God is righteous, and you have been making noise on the righteousness of God and the image of God, are you living a righteous life? Is somebody with me? Then he says, your kingdom come. The kingdom where God resides are supposed to come to earth. And Jesus is saying, pray that way. But how can the kingdom come? Wisdom is saying, I was the first to come. So if you want the kingdom to come and talk to me. Wisdom's call. He says, invite me. Let me show you insights how you can bring the kingdom onto earth. And he says, when the kingdom is supposed to come, then you ought to tell the creator of the heavens and the earth that his will is supposed to be done on earth exactly as it is in heaven. Is someone with me? So if in heaven there are no viruses, I hope somebody's hearing me.
Yes, sir.
If in heaven there are no sicknesses, if in heaven holy life is what they live, if we are going to let the kingdom come and his will be done, then when his will comes, sicknesses ought to run away. You did not hear me. I said, if his will is supposed to come exactly as in heaven, then coronavirus is in trouble. Yes. Because if the will of God is coming through his kingdom, he is coming to reign. And wherever he reigns, sicknesses runs away. Deliverance happens. Yes, healing happens. Yes. So nobody should say that we are putting our minds together and we are going to the World Health Organization with our minds. It is good, but all you can do is to tell us to stay at home. All you can do is to tell us to stay 6 feet away. All you can do is to tell us whatever we touch, we should make sure we rub it with a sanitizer or something. But let me tell you something. The God who created the heavens and the earth, he knows what we are going through. But he wants to bring people's attention unto him. Hallelujah. Now let me tell you one thing. Around the world, there are some people who have never had 12 to 24 hours with their families. The men and the women, they run shifts. The man goes in the night, the woman goes in the morning. The children go to school, so it's like nobody sees anyone. Yes. And there are some parents who haven't seen their own children for many, many years. Yes, sir. God is telling you, I created things and I began things with family. Adam and Eve. And I told them the multiplication. Are you with me? Amen. So if you are not coming back to God's basis, this is the time. You have more time to pray, more time to show love to your children, more time to show love to your partner, more time to study the Bible, more time to go on your knees, more time to seek the face of God, more time for wisdom to say, now that I have seen your behavior change from the worldly mentality onto the one who created you, I will be the umbilical cord. If you need anything from the throne, I will connect you. I will connect you. I said today we pray that any problems on earth, may God direct wisdom to give us insights that it is the Lord who is all powerful. And Romans 13:1 will tell you, the powers you see, the authorities you see, There's no other authority or power except from God. So if God did not allow this virus wouldn't have even showed up. If God allowed it, it means there is a reason and there is a purpose. Hallelujah. We'll come back to wisdom again. But let us go to the book of Genesis, chapter 28, verse 13 through 15. We're about to wrap this thing up. Genesis 28, 10 through 15. Jacob left Beersheba and set out for Haran. Why is he going to Haran? Now he is running away from his brother, who is about to kill him. Yes. Because he took his blessings. Many of us, we are running away, and we have kept ourselves indoors because there is a killer out there. If you go out, it kills you. And I was watching some YouTubes. Oh, a president of a nation. The president is crying his head off. Because on the streets of those nations, you see people walking. People who took their shower, ate in the morning, and they were on their way to their workplaces. All of a sudden you see them going down, and they are on the floor, and they can't breathe, and they begin to sneeze. Cannot attack the youth. She was around 20, vibrant, standing at a bus stop, and all of a sudden going down. Immediately she fell. She could not believe herself. She got up again, and there was a car parked right in front of her. She moved 2-3 steps, just slept on the car like this, lean on the car. Oh, she could not control herself. Down on the floor again. Jesus. And somebody who was holding the phone started asking, is there anything I can do to help? And she couldn't even speak. So, leaders of countries are crying. And the question is, if they have solutions, would they cry? Now Jacob is running away from death. But as Jacob is going, remember, he was going alone. Jacob, you might have left your home. But in the forest, there might be lions. There might be tigers. There might be wild animals that can tear you into pieces. But then, for the fear of death at home, he better goes and die anywhere. Is somebody with me? Because there are some people, they will say that I've never been in my home as a captive. For 1 week, 2 weeks, I can't take this anymore. If the virus is there, I better go and die because at least I need fresh air. And Jacob was running. But as Jacob ran from death, he had faith that I will not let this death in my home kill me. But I remember when my mom was pregnant, my mom says she inquired of the Lord. And the Lord says, I, Jacob, I will be great. Greater than my brother. Even my brother is the elder one. But God, if I'll be great, I'm about to die. Where is my greatness? And the Bible says God made sure there was a realm that the heavens touched the earth with the umbilical cord. Is somebody with me? Then he says, I took a stone and I slept on it. And I saw the heavens open and a ladder coming, the umbilical cord. And I saw him. He was sitting on top of it, communicating with earth. Angels descending and ascending. I said, let me tell you something. This death that is around, if God makes sure Jacob did not die, and he says, I'll make sure the heavens will touch the earth, the same God is telling you through wisdom. He says, just let the heavens touch the earth. And the death that you are scared of, the death will be defeated. Children of God, let me tell you one thing. We call upon wisdom. That wisdom should show up. Wisdom is giving us idea. He says, I am the craftsman. Let's go to Proverbs 9, 10 and 11. And we'll wrap this thing up. The fear of the Lord is the beginning of wisdom. Now the voice which whispered to me, the voice said, the preacher is right, but he is not fully right. If you have any fear, direct that fear towards the Lord. And there are other preachers who will break this thing down for us, that the word fear there actually is not fear. It is honoring. But why are you telling me I'm fearfully made? But I see another word called fear. Then you are trying to explain to me. It's not fear, it's honoring. So I'm honorable, yet fearfully made. If you have anything to fear, don't fear the coronavirus. Fear the creator of the heavens and the earth. Because he says, if you fear the Lord, you begin to locate wisdom. So just by seeing wisdom, all your problems will be solved. Today I came to tell somebody that though they have told you you are captive in your own home, they have told you you can't go out, and we pray this thing shouldn't last for long. Because if borders are closed, the foodstuffs that come from Mexico and enters this place, they cannot come anymore. Maybe you think you've bought enough to take you for a month or two. What about if it stretches to 4 or 5 months? So it is not about your intelligence, but it's about you going on your knees and telling God, says, oh Lord, I've put away all my sins. Even in the land of Egypt, as the plagues were coming, you marked us with the blood. And you told those plagues, don't enter where my name is. Don't enter where my children are. So I'm here to tell the world, we don't want a situation happening and some people will say again, we didn't know. It's right here in your Bible. It has begun. And soon and very soon, the Antichrist will also rise. I say a time is coming. There will be images. And if you want to eat, if you want to drink, all they are going to tell you is that when you see the image, bow before the image. If only you want to leave. So these are just the prelims. But the real picture is ahead of us. Do not let us wait and it will take us by surprise. Wisdom is crying. Wisdom is calling. And wisdom says, please, if you are not hearing my voice, go to understanding, go to knowledge, go to prudence. Ask them, I have insight. I have some secret things you have no idea. And Bible tells us in Psalm 91 verse 1. Those people who goes to the secret place of the Most High, he or she who goes to that secret place of the Most High, and when you reach there, you abide. You make that place as your residence. If that place is your residence, it means when you leave, you come back home. But there are some people who just want to go to the secret place, touch it, and goes away. They don't have any address. But he who dwells in that secret place of the Most High, if only you have your address, you shall abide under the shadow of the Almighty. Church, let us be on our feet for the next 2 minutes. Let us, with our faith, I think about 6 people here, we can join our faith together. We can pray for the world and tell them, wisdom is calling.
Yes, Lord.
Wisdom is calling.
Thank you, Jesus.
Wisdom is calling.
Yes, Lord.
Father, in the name of Jesus.
Oh, yes, Lord.
Wisdom says he is the umbilical cord
In the name of Jesus.
that connects the heavens to the earth. Whatever we have done, Father, mercy.
Mercy.
Father, mercy on earth.
Mercy, oh Jesus.
Connect us to wisdom. Connect us, oh Lord.
Mercy.
Connect us. Will somebody lift up your voice and talk to wisdom? Talk to him. Talk to him. Talk to wisdom. Talk to wisdom. We need you, wisdom. We are inviting you. We are inviting you, wisdom. Enter our homes, wisdom. Enter our homes. Touch our hearts and our minds. We will not lean on our own understanding. Wisdom intervene on our behalf. Wisdom we call upon you. Wisdom we call upon you. You have insights concerning things in the kingdom. You were the first to come forth, so you know what is remaining in the kingdom. You were the craftsman. Wisdom we call upon you. Our paths are coming from the east, west, from the north, south, but we cannot go. We cannot enter the city. We cannot enter the kingdom if we bypass you. My Lord and my King. My Lord and my King. Hashutari tatata. Direct us, O Lord. Direct us, O Lord. Direct us, O Lord. Direct us, O Lord. Hashuteretete. Abakusha taira. Hiro shikara hataita. Ambakusa tite. My Lord and my King. Viewers around the world, this God's Family Palace, I pray that God has used me to be a blessing unto you. We need to connect back to God. We need to present ourselves before Him. There's no other way. The Christians can say, the Buddhists can say, the Muslims can say, and even Christians we can also say. But when we reach that umbel, when we see wisdom, wisdom will say, it is these people who have the name of the Lord. So let us bring the believers, my brothers, the Christians, my brothers and sisters. This is time for us to cry upon the Lord, the creator of the heavens and the earth. We cannot do without him. This God's Family Palace, though we were not able to come and meet in the sanctuary, yet our tithes and offerings are still needed, because we continue to pay bills even if we stay at home. And viewers who are part of God's Family Palace, you can call in, pay your tithes, or you can go to godsfamilypalace.us. There is a PayPal account. You can pay your tithes there. And we have Cash App also for God's Family Palace. And the Cash App account is the $GF Palace. The $GF Palace. You can pay your tithes and give offering over there. And beginning from tomorrow, we are going to embark on a journey of fasting.
Thank you, Jesus.
We will be on the prayer line at 12 noon Eastern Time and at 6 p.m. Eastern Time. So, our prayer line number is 712-775-8972. I think it's projected on Facebook and YouTube. When you are watching, you can see it scrolling down. And the access code is 278267. 278267. And that fasting will be on the prayer line from Monday through Friday.
Yes, sir.
And on Saturday, we're going to be on the prayer line only on 12 noon actually. So Mondays through Friday is 12 noon. Then we'll come back at 6 p.m. Then on Saturday, it will be 12 noon only. Children of God, every Friday, we are still going to be on the prayer line for a 2 hours night vigil. Every Friday, until the Lord paves way for us to gather, we will still lift up his banner.
Amen.
Children of God,
Yes, sir.
I pray that the fear that has gripped you will rather be turned unto the Lord.
Amen.
So that when you begin to search for wisdom, wisdom will show up and wisdom will welcome you.
Amen.
At the unveil, the point of the umbilical cord, so that any nutrients you need as a child of God, the kingdom will supply it from the womb of which wisdom came from. Wisdom knows things in that womb.
Yes, sir.
And wisdom is telling you the ideas we are putting in place on planet Earth is not the idea of God. The idea of God is that his kingdom will come on earth so that he will supply every single thing we need.
Amen.
And this battle is not a man's battle. This battle is a heavenly battle. And the Lord has already won the battle.
Amen.
May you be blessed. May you be protected
Thank you, Father.
according to the will and the purpose of God. After service, I'm going to be here for the next about 45 minutes to an hour. So if there is anybody who want to pass by, if you could not go to Facebook, the God's Family Palace.us, if you could not and you said, I just want to pass by the church building and drop my tithes and offering, I will be here. And there are some people who will be here too with me. So may God protect you, may God bless you, till we meet again in Jesus' mighty name. This is God's Family Palace. My name is Joshua Boati. Bye-bye, everybody. Amen.
Amen.
Is somebody blessed?
Amen.
Those who